Hello, everyone. Welcome to Messness Just D. This is my first installment of daily fantasy picks. I'm going to bring to you weekly basis. Before the first 3 weeks, I was using my blog Darian Evans Reigns.blogspot.com to put up my picks. I wanted to try YouTube for the first time, so here we go. I'm gonna give you my picks. Also on my blog, I'll have more in-depth analysis on each player that I choose, and I'll have more picks as well. But for this week, I'm gonna just give you two, 4 picks, 4 picks into the defense. So I'd like to start with the QB position with Cam Newton. He's just way too cheap, entirely too cheap at 5,900. This is the lowest you'll ever see Cam, even last year. This is an 8K player on DK, and you're getting him at a ridiculous value at 5,900. I understand the hate is going too far. I understand he faced the Saints last week, who's given up some of the most yards to quarterbacks, but this is even better. New England is statistically the worst. It says right here, 32nd, and that's no joke because week one they gave up 35 points, 35 DK points to Alex Smith, and that's Alex Smith. And then, like, come on, he does that once a year. He threw for 300 yards against them. That's unheard of. Then the next week, Drew Brees. I understand that. That's Drew Brees. He's gonna get his points. But then, what told me a lot for this week was the Deshaun Watson game. That's a rookie quarterback who Bill Belichick always takes advantage of. Bill Belichick is undefeated against rookie quarterbacks. They won, but the performance that Deshaun Watson put up was outstanding. As you can see here, he had 300 yards passing. In week 2 and week 1, he couldn't come close to that against Jacksonville's D and against Cincinnati's D. But when he faced this genius, Bill Belichick, he was allowed to throw for 300 yards, rush for 41, and get 25 DK points. Bill Belichick's formula is great for non-mobile quarterbacks, but when it comes to mobile quarterbacks like a Watson and like an elite Cam, it can't be matched. You can't bracket coverage one main receiver who the Carolina Panthers don't really have right now because they're all injured and expect to shut him out because Cam provides um, that next factor, that X factor that he can run, he can move. His receivers will move with him to get open, and Bill Belichick hasn't figured that out. So I'm gonna trust Cam my last time. This is it. If he doesn't go off this week, then I give up. But I believe since the ownership is going to be super low on Cam, he goes off for this week, and we rise straight to the top in GPPs. All my picks are for GPPs. That's all I play. I might play a little cash game, but just when I see that first place spot, I got to go for it. So Cam will be my number one QB this week, who I have a lot of exposure to. Next, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with defense, and just understand my name is Messness Just D. I'm biased, but I like the Jets defense for this week. Um, we're home, we're underdogs. That which is understandable. Everyone thinks that the Jets suck, but the Jets D has a lot of bright spots besides their D line. And they stepped up last week with 2 interceptions against Cutler because that's Cutler. So what would you expect with Bortles? Bortles will be Bortles. He will throw interceptions. And we have a that can decent secondary, and Todd Bowles will manage some blitzes to confuse Bortles so we can get some pressure on him and get turnovers. I would like to start with Jamal Adams, our rookie safety from LSU. Already, first 3 games, he projects already overall 84.5, above average safety in his rookie season in the first 3 games. Not only him, Terrence Brooks was the highest graded week 3 safety who we picked up from the Eagles, who have tons and tons of secondary problems, as you saw. Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall, and Sterling Shepard all went off last week. Not only him, we have a young linebacking core, and I'm gonna get to him. Hold on, he's coming. Mario Davis. He should be coming up 2 seconds. All right, Demario Davis. He was the Defensive Player of the Week, graded by PFF, 93.5. That's ridiculous. 10 total stops. He's everywhere on the field. He's very quick, and I believe that the Jets defense will come up aces at this price, 2,600, in DraftKings. Of course, you might want to choose Jacksonville. That's too popular. I'm trying to get you to the top of these leaderboards, and picking a Jets D who no one will be on and does have potential could get you there. So, I mean, there's plenty of other defenses, but going off price wise, 2,600. Under that, everything's a little sketchy. I might go Chargers, but everything other than that, I have faith in the Jets and have faith that Bortles will turn it over. So that's my reasoning on that. To correlate with my defense, I like to do that a lot in low scoring games. I'm going to go with Bilal Powell, who is 4,600 for this week. The reason why I'm going with Bilal Powell, as you can see, if you read the update, Matt Forte considered unlikely to play Sunday against the Jaguars. Powell is expected to serve as the Jets' top option out of the backfield. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network report. So when Bilal Powell gets the opportunity to start, he takes advantage. I don't know what the Jets were thinking at the beginning of the season, running Forte like they did last year. He was more effective last year at the beginning, but this year Forte has been non-existent. So when Powell gets his opportunities, he takes advantage. As you can see, last season, look at that glaze face. Uh, as you can see, the last 4 games of the season, Powell dominated. He was a top 10 back in DK and fantasy, daily fan and regular season-long fantasy for the last 4 weeks. And against San Francisco, 145 yards, 5 catches for 34 yards. And with the rushing yards, he had 2 TDs. The next game, 84 yards rushing, 11 catches, 78 yards. That's another great game. All right. Patriots game, outlier. That's the Patriots. They blew us out. We're not facing the Patriots this week. Buffalo, again, he bounced back from his horrible performance, had 122 yards, 3 catches, 15 yards, and a touchdown. So Powell clearly takes advantage. He's clearly the change of pace back. When he gets the ball, you do see a difference in the Jets offense. And he should get a lot of dump-off passes from Josh McCown this week. Going to wide receivers, I really like Emmanuel Sanders this week at 6,100. You have 2 options. You could go with Demaryius Thomas or you can go with Emmanuel Sanders, but I choose to go with Sanders because, number one, Demaryius Thomas will be highly owned to match with Trevor Siemian, but also Sanders has a better matchup and he gets just as much targets. As you can see, 15, 8, and 6, especially against Buffalo, that 15 targets, that can translate to a lot of points, and hopefully he can duplicate that against the bad Oakland defense. This week he's facing Emerson. Emerson gave up the 52-yard touchdown to Josh Dotson, a rookie. So I'm pretty sure Sanders can pick apart Emerson on a consistent basis. Sanders and Demaryius Thomas run similar routes, so Sanders should take advantage. We'll take advantage of this. My last pick I like will be Charles Clay. So get him in your lineups. He's going against Atlanta. That should be a high-scoring game. I expect the Bills to be down and for them to back up. So Just follow me at Darian Evans /Reigns.blogspot.com.